Oh, wow. Guys, what's under here is not stock. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we're here with the 1987 Ford Mustang GT that we purchased from Copart for what I thought was a steal of $3,600 out the door. Yeah, it looks good, right? On camera, she sure does look good. And in person, in all fairness, she's a good-looking car. But she's got some hidden issues, some things that if I had spent a little more time looking at it instead of getting all excited, I would have noticed. Now, we've already been over these. Today, we're going to try to diagnose and figure out what is actually wrong with the engine in this car. Why does it have so much blow-by that when you take the cap off, it blows it off of the engine? That's a problem. And hopefully today, we can figure out what's wrong with it and come to a solution. Now, real quick, before I get any further in this video, I wanted to address a couple of the comments that I got about the Wildfire lift. One of them was that I have to bolt it to the floor. I've absolutely got to bolt it to the floor. Guys, you need to go watch Vice Grip Garage. Go watch Derek over there, okay? Derek is the reason that I actually contacted Wildfire Lifts because I saw him being able to put casters on it and move it. He put that truck on it. You guys probably saw the video. He put that truck on it, and he lowered it down, and he pushed it, and he moved the whole lift out of the way. And I was like, whoa, I got to contact these guys, and hopefully they can do something to work with me. If not, I was going to buy one of these anyway. So big shout out to Vice Grip Garage, and his videos really pushed me to contacting this company. I knew I had to have a lift from Wildfire Lifts. So I think what I'm going to do first is pop off this hood. I got a feeling we're going to end up having to tear into this motor, or most likely take this motor out. Right now, I am suspecting possibly a blown head gasket that is leaking compression past the compression ring and over into an oil galley that is pushing the compression out through the engine itself. That's my initial guess, but I haven't done any diagnosing to verify that. Another thing, there are wires missing. There's definitely a plug somewhere that goes to the idle air control valve. It is missing in action. I'm thinking we're probably going to have to pull this upper plenum off regardless. None of the vacuum lines are hooked up. There's so much missing under here. I don't know where anything is. I think taking off that upper plenum is going to be a good place to start. We'll probably go ahead and pull the plug wires, take out the plugs, and run a boroscope into the cylinders, try to get a better idea of what's going on inside the block. So I'm going to go ahead and use this 13. I'm going to take these bolts out, and I'm going to go ahead and take this. Oh, this hood's barely even held on. Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. It's not even tight. That one didn't even have a washer on it. No. Wow. The further I get into this car, the more it looks like someone just threw it together and they were just done with it. Let's see if these are tight. Nope. Those aren't tight either. That one is. Okay, that one. Oh. No. You sit yourself right there. We got to be very careful here because the stop. This hood is wanting to come off on us already, and we're not quite ready for that just yet. So let's get this last bolt off. Hopefully we can take her off without too much problem. There we go. Let's drop this right there and sit still. Stay. Doing this one person isn't the easiest, but it can be done. Let's go ahead and drop that. Gently lower this down. There we go. And we will move it out of the way. Now, one of the things that was brought up to me is that if the PCV valve is not functioning properly, then it could be building up excess pressure inside the block. And while I tend to disagree that a broken PCV valve could cause that much pressure inside the block, somebody was right. Whoever commented that, you were right. I found the PCV valve was just hanging under here. It actually plugs into the back of the intake over here. I went ahead and plugged it back in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fire it up real quick. I don't want it to run for long, but I'm going to fire it up real fast. And we're going to take that oil cap off and see if the oil cap still blows off of the engine, which I'm 100% certain that it's going to. But, you know, we'll try it. Let's see. Of course you're gonna die. All right, she's running. Let's see what happens. First, we can pull this hose out. Oh, wow. I mean, that's, and, oh, that's milkshake in there, boys. That's milkshake. That's milkshake. She is definitely mixing water and oil at this point. I'll go ahead and pull the dipstick real quick. Let's take a look. But all I see under that cap is milkshake everywhere. It could, yes, it could be condensation, but I really don't think so, guys. I would much rather the issue with this car be a problem with one of the cylinder heads or a blown head gasket. Oh, the oil, though. Woo! That's gasoline. I bet that's flammable. The oil does not look like milkshake, so maybe it's just excessive condensation. I'm going to take the cap off. See if we've got any excessive pressure built up in there. No. In fact, the coolant in it, it's got beautiful antifreeze, man. Yeah, it's not oily or anything. Huh. Okay, well, I think we're going to continue on. Guys, I think right now, though, I am going to take this upper plenum off because I would love to figure out where the wiring harnesses on this thing are all located. Let's take a closer look at what's going on under here. And, yeah, maybe we can get some vacuum lines hooked up, and then we'll put the Boroscope down the spark plug holes. So I don't quite have the right tool for the job here. I've got a T20, and I'm hoping that maybe we can coerce these off. Apparently, I don't have the right size to take this cover off, and I believe there are 2 bolts hiding underneath here. We're about to find out here in just a second. All right, we can pop this cover off. Bingo! 2 bolts, 2 bolts, 2 bolts. Somebody put a lot of washers on these. I'm telling you guys, it's like the whole car was just thrown together by, I really don't know. This is crazy. There's like 4 washers, 5? Oh my. What is the deal here? Let me see if I can show you. There's like 6 washers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 washers on that one. Oh man. Oh, I'd love to know who owned this car before. I really would. I would love to know what secrets are hiding here, just waiting. Ooh. Good Lord have mercy. Wow. Oh, my. Oh. Ooh, those feel stripped. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Those feel very, very stripped. Oh, that's going to snap. Come on, are you serious? Yeah, it's going to snap. That's what's going to happen. Hey, there's one that doesn't feel like it's stripped. The rest of these are in bad shape, guys. I'm not sure if this intake is going to come off, guys, without... just kind of bad feeling. Let me tell you something. This whole EFI setup, honestly, is just super unimpressive to me. I have been considering for a while now, once we figure out what's wrong with it, actually taking off all of this and going with an old school 302 with maybe an MSD ignition setup and like a Holley Demon 650 carburetor. I think we could solve a lot of problems by just switching this EFI over to carb. Comment below and tell me what you guys think. For right now, though, man, I'm not looking forward to this. I'm really not. This whole thing just looks like trouble. All the connectors are broken. They all just kind of plug on and plug off. There's... What is that? A hose with... how do you even know which one of these is the temperature sensor? And this whole thing is just this is a cluster, man. Even the fuel injectors the tabs are broken. It's all broken. Every single bit of it. So I am going to continue hoping that we can get these off without breaking them. But I'll be honest with you, I feel like it's inevitable. We're going to snap some of these. I really don't want to, but we've got 3. That feels so bad. That feels so bad. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. Do or die. You know, I can't sit here and stress over it. You know, if we break it, then we break it, and I'll just have to either get another lower. Oh my, what happened to you? I think I can get this back one, so that's going to leave one. That leaves one bolt that is very likely to snap. I don't see any way that's going to come out without snapping, guys. None at all. It is far too tight. See if I can get this one out of here without dropping it or losing it. There's not a whole lot of clearance on this back bolt here. Come on, there we go. Did I get the washer too? I did, I got both. Okay. Hey, comment below right now. Do you think the last bolt is gonna snap, or do you think it's gonna come out? Man, maybe I can... Oh. Oh. Oh my. You guys won't believe what I just found down here. Oh my. Ugh. Hey, maybe it's not going to snap. I think it's going to come out, guys. How about that? I don't know how many times we're going to be able to... It doesn't look stripped out. I don't understand why it is so tight. That should be it. Of course, there's going to be some lines and stuff here and there that we're going to have to move out of the way. We'll pull the PCV hose out here. There we go. And okay. Well, you can see somebody's handiwork under here. That's how they plugged that. That goes to the brake booster. I'll get that off. This goes to the PCV. I've already disconnected that. This is plugged. This is probably fuel pressure regulator, would be my guess. I'll get rid of that. And I need to detach these from the throttle body down here. And we should be able to lift this thing off. All right, once we get this bracket off for the accelerator. Uh-oh. Don't lose your nuts, guys. Don't lose your nuts. I think at this point we can pull this off. Hey, looky there. Oh wow. There's a lot of oil trapped in there. Hey, we actually have a little room now, guys, so this gives us hey, wires. More wires. We don't know what any of these go to. They're all unplugged. Everything is unplugged. Something here has got to go. What are these two go to? I got to take this off as well. This is just all up in the way. Get rid of that. Where is the wire to the... I figured it would be trapped under here somewhere. I just don't see it. Huh. Maybe this engine is out of a newer model. The wiring harness is different. I don't know, guys. I kind of lost here. What I'm looking for is the idle air control valve plug, which I would have thought one of these would be for the temperature sending unit. The other would be for the idle air control valve. But we also have these under here that aren't going to anything either. Wait. There it is. There's the idle air control valve. It was buried. I knew it. But that still doesn't tell us what all of these extra connectors go to. There's so many wires on here that are just unplugged. What a mess. What a mess. And this is what makes me... There's the engine wiring harness. This right here is what makes me just want to rip all of this off and go with carburetor. This would be so much easier with a carburetor. All right, so before I go very much further with this, I wanted to point out this right here. Oh, that just changed the colors. Look at that giant hole. As you can see, that's right by those headers as we back up. Oops, shook the camera there. But as we back up from it, you can clearly see that area right there. And if we turn around and we take a look over here at this side, let me zoom you in. You can kind of see right there. It's kind of doing the same thing. It looks like it's already starting to rust up. But over here on this side, that's messed up, man. That is bad. Now, another thing I noticed while I was over here is take a look at this shock. Okay, focus right here. Look. It's not even tightened down, man. Like, this whole thing just bounces around. That's what I'm saying, guys. The more I get into this, the more it looks like a junk car that somebody just threw away because... the car is done. The car is done. I think this engine was done too. But I'm gonna try to at least get it back on the road running and driving again, man. We are going to attempt to get this valve cover off now. I want to see what things look like in there. It should be off. I already took all the bolts out of it, so there we go. Getting it off of here could be a bit of a chore with that alternator in the way. May not be able to with the alternator on there, but I'm going to work on getting this off a little bit. Here's what I've got for you guys. I've got two connectors here. All right, they're both identical connectors. Come on, focus. Why isn't it focusing? There we go. I've got two identical connectors here, okay? They look the same. They will both fit on this temperature sending unit. One has a green wire and a black wire, I believe. The other has a red wire and a gray wire? Brown wire? I don't know. One has a red wire, one has a green wire. They will both plug into the temperature sending unit the same. But I don't see anything for both of these to plug into. I can plug in one to here, but the other one has nowhere to go. So I don't know what the other wire is going to go to. So any of you Foxbody people out there, any of you people familiar with this 5.0 engine, please feel free to hit me up and comment down below what one of these goes to, preferably telling me which color, green or red goes to the temperature sending unit, and where in the heck does the other one go to? I'm going to focus on getting this valve cover off. As you can see, I got the plug wires off. I'm going to pull these plugs out, and we'll get in there. I guess we could probably do a compression check, but I want to run the Boroscope down there and see what's going on. Ah, shoot! You son of a biscuit eater. All right. Remember this. You drew first blood, man. Oh, wow. Guys, what's under here is not stock. Come on, tell me I don't have to remove the damn alternator. Wow. The rockers under here, boys, are not stock. So now I am even more confused as to what the hell we're dealing with on this motor. So far, what I saw under the valve cover looks like somebody's got a little money into these cylinder heads. There we go. Now, to put these back on, I will most likely have to go back with pulling the alternator off. But look at those bad boys, huh? Oh, man. Those are beautiful. That's what those are. Those are beautiful. Let's take a closer look down in there and see what she looks like. Well, guys, there may just be a little bit more to this motor's story than what I gave it credit for. I'm still very, very confused. Obviously, the rockers don't look stock. That doesn't mean that it's not stock, of course. I'm not gonna... Let's get these out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and pull these off as well. Let me tell you something. This side is a bear. This side is a real bear. Ugh. This side is going to hurt me. That's what's going to happen. This is they've got the oil dipstick right here and everything, man. Like, ugh, what a nightmare. How do you even get that? Wow. Those are all covered in oil. Yeah, these spark plugs I think are going to be a little bit more difficult to get out. I'm hoping that this valve cover comes off relatively easy. It looks like it should. I'll move that out of the way. I think we can get to all of this relatively easily. Obviously, everything on this side should look identical to the other side, so shouldn't be too many surprises here. But what's interesting is it looked like somebody put a little bit of motor into the money. Looks like somebody put a little bit of money into this motor. But the confusing part to me is why it's still got factory fuel injectors. Everything seems stock on this car. Everything, the mass airflow sensor, the injectors, everything looks bone stock, but it looks to me like somebody spent a little money on the internals of this engine. So I'm actually kind of excited to get past this, drain the oil, and let's get a Boroscope down into the cylinders. I'm very excited to see whether we have some old worn out looking pistons or if we've got some like Keith Blacks sitting down in the bottom there, you know what I mean? Maybe some domed high compression pistons or something. I don't know, probably not going to run into any of that, I wouldn't imagine, but wouldn't it be cool if we did and we found out that what we've got is a great motor. It just needs a little bit of tweaking to get her right. I still think this thing would probably be better off with a carburetor, but believe it or not, it's actually fairly expensive. I know that doesn't sound right, but it's actually fairly expensive to go from a fuel injection to a carburetor, but man, it just makes life so much easier when it comes to the tunability of the car. This should just pop right off. Yeah. Oh yeah, she looks beautiful too. Sure does. Go ahead and get this gasket out of the way. And look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so as usual, I've run into a problem. I've got no issue getting 3 of the 4 spark plugs out, but this one right here, I can't get an extension of any kind on it at all. So I decided to try my hand at maybe putting a wrench around. It looks like I got the wrong size wrench. I got a 21 there. I'm going to try a 19. And if the camera's a little shaky, forgive me. It's definitely hard to do this without shaking the camera here. But I'm going to try to put a wrench on the end of it. Oh, good. There we go. Just like that. So, hey, pro tip. I know, right? Coming from auto auction rebuilds, that's actually kind of scary. A pro tip for you guys. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed or not, but man, the backs of these have a look. It's perfect for when you got headers and you can't get your spark plugs off. You can't get a ratchet in there. Well, you can just boop, just like that. So give her a few turns, and it's a quick workaround for the spark plugs that are stuck in between these equal length headers. These are BBK equal length headers. They are shorties though, but I still say they've got to be an improved flow versus the stock manifolds. There we go. Let's take these out. So here we go, jumping into cylinder number 1, and as you can see, it looks really good. Now, I'm not one to tell you whether these are stock pistons or not. I have no idea. You'll have to comment below, but the piston itself looks good. The cylinder walls look good. Now moving on to cylinder 2. This one, as you can see, is absolutely saturated in oil. I mean, it looks really, really wet. Now, that's not necessarily because something is wrong in this cylinder. As you can see, this engine was just full of oil to begin with, but I am taking special notice that cylinder number 2 is a whole lot, sorry for that, but yeah, cylinder 2 is pretty bad. Moving on to cylinder 3, it also looks pretty wet as well. This engine, the blow-by was all being forced right back into the intake manifold, so it's not too surprising to see a lot of cylinders coated with oil. We're going to come back to cylinder 3 at the end. Here is cylinder 4. As you can see, cylinder 4 actually looks a whole lot better. Getting this little camera in can be difficult, and trying to get a good angle can be pretty difficult too, but I feel pretty confident that so far everything looks pretty good. I'm trying to get an idea of what the cylinder wall condition is here. But honestly, it doesn't look too bad, but again, very oily. Next cylinder, we should be able to see this one a little bit better, or not. That's just pretty rough. Looks like this cylinder is at the top of its stroke, so very difficult to get in here. I'm going to just kind of spin the camera around a little bit. Yeah, she's all the way at the top. I mean, those clearances are tight, guys, real tight. Look at that. Kind of makes me wonder if these are maybe high compression pistons. I don't know. Like I said, you guys will have to comment below. But we're going to run into the next cylinder here. Come on. Come on. Next cylinder. There we go. Next cylinder. Here we go. This will be, I believe, the next side of the block, cylinder number 5. And as you can see again, oily, yes, but the piston looks good. The cylinder walls look good. And this is kind of the theme that we're going to see throughout the rest of these Boroscope videos here. But there is one that appears to be problematic. So let's move on to the next cylinder. I done lost count of what cylinder we're on. You can kind of see that there's some writing on the top of that piston. I wish I could see exactly what it says. I'd love to be able to make that out. Give you an idea of maybe it's bored over a little bit, or you know, what kind of pistons they are. I would love to be able to read those. But what I'm looking for on the cylinder walls are any damage or a ridge. And honestly, a little discoloration is normal. We're going to probably squeeze back in here again and try to get another view. Sometimes I have to pull the camera out and flip it around just to try to make sure I'm getting a good view of everything in here. Comment below if you've seen anything that I've missed so far. We're getting really close to the end here, guys. I do believe that this is actually cylinder number 7. Actually, this is cylinder number 8. This is the one that I suspect of having a problem. Yes, cylinder 8 is definitely where I suspect that there's a problem, because the spark plug I pulled out of this cylinder, it was very black and very sooty. Now you can see some wear on the sides. The closer I get to it, the worse it looks. You guys, again, I'm not an engine builder, man. Comment on everything you're seeing, and you tell me what you think. That right there, yeah, I really wanted to zoom in on that so you guys can have a good look at it and tell me if you think that is excessive wear or if that's okay. Personally, I'm just not seeing anything in any of this footage that makes me feel like there is something catastrophic wrong with the engine. So we could be looking at a head gasket. We might be looking at rings that just were not installed properly. I think really what this is going to come down to is throwing a compression gauge on each cylinder and try to get a much better idea of which cylinders are down, if any. So I decided to go back to cylinder 3 and have another look. As you can see, I'm moving the crankshaft. The valve is opening. That's why I'm saying the clearances in here are super tight, man. We're finally getting that piston to go down in its bore a little bit. I was hoping we could take a little bit closer look at cylinder 3 just because it looks like it is so wet. But the spark plug that came out of cylinder 3 actually looked pretty good. Alright guys, so I wanted to come back to the spark plugs. We've gone down all of the cylinders, and obviously we checked number 3 twice. But here's what the spark plugs look like. This is cylinder number 1. This is cylinder number 2. Cylinder number 3, the one I was concerned about, which actually looks fine. Cylinder number 4. Okay, in order, 1 through 4. And then coming over here, again, I kept all of these in order. This is the other side of the engine. This is cylinder number 5. And we got cylinder number 6. Cylinder number 7. And cylinder number 8. This is the one I was concerned about. You can see it's very wet. It's got a lot of oil on it. So it appears to me that whatever issue we're having out of cylinder number 8. So why don't we stick the Boroscope in number 8 and run the cylinder up and down just to get an idea of what's going on. So here we go. Cylinder number 8, taking another look at it, just trying to see when we bring the piston up, well, that's a little too close, but definitely trying to see if we can see any cracks or a hole or just anything that would tell us that we've got something wrong with cylinder number 8, because that plug is way, way, way too wet. Now, I am going crazy with the camera. I'm just trying to spin it around to get a good view of every angle. As you can see, it's not working out very well, but from where I'm at, I can't see anything wrong. All right, I've moved everything out of the way. Fuel injectors are unfortunately going to be firing. I could find the fuse and shut it off, but honestly, I just don't feel like it. I'll tell you what I will do, though. I will go ahead and unplug the fuel injectors. I'll unplug the coil just to make things easier. We're already right here, so why risk doing any damage? It doesn't make any sense. And you guys would have called me out on it anyway, so there we go. Coil is now unplugged, and the fuel injectors are disconnected, so we shouldn't have any issues with spark or fuel. We're just going to crank it over real quick so that I can review the footage and double check that the valve train at least appears to be working properly. Tell you what, the engine turns over great. She sounds good. We've definitely got oil to the top of the engine. What could possibly be wrong with this, guys? Well, guys, honestly, I think the next thing that needs to be done is a, well, not an oil change. That's probably the last thing that needs to be done, but honestly, the next thing that really needs to be done is a compression test. Unfortunately, I cannot find my compression gauge to save my life. So it's, 2 o'clock in the morning. This is probably gonna make a little bit of a mess. I figure we might as well go ahead and take the oil filter off. There we go. Let's go ahead and see what comes out of this. That's where I'm at. Let's change the oil, or at least drain it, and see what the heck is coming out of this thing. It's going to be nasty. I mean, it's almost, I don't know. I can't tell if it's full of metallic or if it's just gasoline soaked. I'm going to try not to dump this filter upside down. I'm going to try to keep it right side up here. If we can balance it there. We'll let that drain a little bit. Let me get the drain plug out. And we'll get the rest of the oil out of this thing. I don't know off the top of my head what size this is, but I can tell you what it isn't. It isn't a 15. Let's try a 17, although it's most likely going to be an 18. 17's an odd. Wow, okay. It appears to be a 17. Let's see if we can, let me get this filter out of the way here. I don't think it's going to really be needed anymore. It's still full, so we can get a good idea of what's going on in there. And let's just see what's going on under here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a filter on this to keep it from leaking anymore. Going back with the exact same one that came off of it, a Ford Motorcraft FL1A. I'll tell you, this motor just looks so fresh. Boy, that filter is she goes on there tough. Make sure it's not cross-threaded. No, it's not. That's a yeah, guys, that's weird. This filter is she gets tough. Yeah, I'm almost gonna have to use the filter wrench on it. So far, nothing on this car goes according to plan. So I have no reason to believe that this is going to be any different. How far do you think this is going to shoot out? I don't know. How about this? How about I get behind it, and then even if it goes above and beyond, it's not going to be me that gets saturated with oil. Oh, that's not bad. We can lower this down so you guys get a better look at it. All right, guys. What do you think? Oh, good Lord. Jeez. What do you think this one is going to look like? Let's try to line this up here. Hopefully I don't get splashed in the face. Let's take a peek. Here we go. Oh, wow. That is just nasty. Look at that. It is so thin. That oil is so thin, guys. Well, I can tell you this, putting oil, fresh oil, and a fresh oil filter in it, dang sure isn't going to hurt anything. That oil looks real bad, guys. Real bad. I'm going to need you guys to comment below. Tell me what you think, man, because I'm at the point, I'm looking at this car, and where the K member attaches is rotten on the passenger side. Completely rotten. The driver's side is already starting to rot. The engine looks like cylinder 8 probably has something very wrong with it. In the bottom end, as I expected, it could, though. It could be in the top end. I just highly, highly doubt it. I really feel like we've got an issue in the bottom end. I don't know how much further I want to go with this car, guys. I really don't. The deeper we dig, it's like the more we find out this car is just, it's awful. I feel like this car would be better suited going back to the auction and saving ourselves a lot of time and a lot of money. So guys, this is the point where I'm going to really rely on you to jump into the comment section and tell me what you think. I feel like this car is just an app. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. Living out in the country, you never know what you're going to hear every single night. Anyway, getting back into the car here. Here's let me try to just break it down how I'm feeling about it. Okay, as I said a minute ago, the K-member is literally rotting away from the strut towers, which is where it bolts to. You know, the K-member is absolutely removable, but this car, the shell of this car, this is worthless. The shell of this car is absolutely worthless, like without a doubt. You've got the front that was sloppily welded on. On top of that, you got the K-member rusting away from the body of the car. Right there is like, that's it. That's a wrap for this car. All right. On top of that, okay, hey, we got a good motor and good transmission, except we don't. We appear to have an issue with cylinder number 8. Now, I am more than willing to throw a compression gauge on it. Let's see what's going on with number 8. Clean up the spark plugs, fill it up with fresh oil, maybe some oil additive, put it back together, and cross our fingers. I'll hook up things that weren't hooked up, like the EGR valve. I'll be more than happy to hook up the idle air control valve. These things are fairly important, definitely the idle air control valve. We can hook some of the stuff up that was disconnected and hope that we can get it running better. But at the end of the day, to what end? This is where I'm at. Like, from a labor perspective, what are we even working towards here? The motor doesn't run right. I'm not sure if the transmission shifts right or not. We've got a strut coming apart over there. We're missing a shock in the back. There's crunches underneath. The front end is sagging. The K-member is coming disconnected. Why? This is a car that it's got good curb appeal, so to speak. You know, when you put it on the auction block, it looks great. Okay, looks nice. But at the end of the day, I don't see any reason to really go much further with this car. Now, we'll come back with another video. I am curious to see what you guys think. Oh, let's not forget that the power steering shoots fluid right out of the rack and pinion because it looks like somebody rushed through it and didn't get their seals on right and broke them. So those need to be done as well. It's just, this looks like a money pit, guys. This looks like a money pit. So I am highly tempted to send this through an auction or something. I honestly, at this point, I've never run into this before. I've never encountered this before, but I can promise you this. The next time I go to look at a Foxbody, I'm going to be checking those strut towers going down to the K-member. I can promise you that, and hopefully you guys will too. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen anything like this before. So this is crazy, but it's a learning experience, right? I'm not like down in the dumps. I'm not going to hang my head and cry about it, man. You know what happens? It is what it is. I'd rather it have happened to me than happened to one of you. So at least we know, you know, maybe the car is worth what I paid for it in parts. I don't see that. And by the way, the transmission, I had a lot of people asking if it's a Borg-Warner or Tremec. It's a Borg-Warner. You know, it's a factory transmission. It looks like we got some... what are those, like comp cams 1.6 roller rockers? You know, I believe those are stock. I did a little research and I had a little trouble figuring out if stock on this is 1.5 or 1.6, but either way, it looks like the majority of the car is stock. It's just been kind of cleaned up, man. Those are factory 19-pound injectors. MAF is factory. It's just kind of dressed up. At the end of the day, it's kind of my opinion. This car just needs to go down the road, man. We'll figure out what to do with it, but first I want to get y'all's comments. I'm going to end the video here because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I got to go do a Copart walk-around for you guys later this morning. So I need to be trying to get to bed, which means I got to edit this video. Tell me what you thought, man. Drop your comments down below. If you enjoyed the content, give the video a big thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a big thumbs down. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I will catch you all very soon in the next one.